So the show I'm taking to Edinburgh has an absurdly long title. It's called Total, Immediate, Collective, Imminent Terrestrial Salvation. What's it about? Well, those adjectives, total, immediate, collective, imminent, are connected to the idea of millennial cults, the end of the world kind of groups that have existed in history for thousands of years. So there is a sense of a world ending in my play. It's about a group of people who've travelled to a place in South America in readiness for the moment where the Earth will pass through a black hole and into paradise, at the moment of total solar eclipse. That's the story, and the story is about a mother returning to that group on the day of the eclipse to reclaim her daughter. So that's the dramatic action of the play. One of the more interesting aspects of the play is it's told through a combination of action and illustration. So every audience member and the actors have a copy of a book. They work with a copy of the book. The book is the design of the play, it holds the text of the play, it also contains illustrations. So for periods of time in the performance, the audience study illustrations that give a sense of a backstory and move the narrative forwards and explore the themes of the play as well. I play the writer of the book, and I am the writer of the book. And I wrote all the words that the actors speak, as most playwrights write the words that the actors speak. But integrated into that is this idea of control, I suppose, and authority, and manipulation and abuse. We had a week of development at the National Theatre of Scotland space in Glasgow, Rock Villa. The show is a National Theatre of Scotland production, where we explore the idea of integrating a book with an audience. So we have been developing those ideas, and the story has developed alongside the form of the play. But I always wanted to write a play about belief, and I didn't want to write specifically about religion. So this group of believers are a sort of metaphor for many of the things that are happening in this world. There are two additions to the book. One is the performance text, which is bound, sewn binding, and hardback and beautiful, with nothing other than the things that are needed for the play and performance. And then there is another edition of the book, the sort of trade edition, which the audience can buy afterwards, which will contain the information about the play, biographies and all that kind of stuff, and probably will be a paperback. Well, what I'm trying to do in this play, I suppose, is what I've been trying to do in all the work that I've made over the years, is to consider how we represent our stories. And in this particular play, how we represent ourselves and an idea of belief. So it's about belief in the world, belief, I suppose, connected to religious belief, but also political belief and leadership, but also the belief that exists in the theatre. So I'm working with two collaborators who I've been working with since 2004, really. Two men, one's Andy Smith and the other is Carl James, and they've co-directed the sort of main body of my grown-up work. I have a sort of children's practice that I do, but mostly on my own. But Carl and Andy have sat with me and asked me difficult questions for many, many years. They both have their own thing, they do their own thing. Carl's not even involved in theatre really, but he's an expert in thinking and in dialogue. And so it's been clear, I think, that this show should be another collaboration between the three of us, because it's building. All the shows are in relation to the previous shows. So I can have deeper conversations about this play with these two guys, because they know the genesis of almost everything I've ever written. So yeah, it's very nice to get the old team back together.